I get it. He shouldn't do that, but I get why he thinks it's funny. Because I'm still kind of 12 on the inside, right?
13.
Huh?
He's 13.
13. I know, but what I'm saying is you kind of stop maturing there.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, you do.
But it is funny.
When you threw the straw at your brother this morning, your grandfather laughed.
Yeah.
Right? And he's 64. And he laughed because he's still 12 on the inside, too.
I mean, I laughed too. Just
Did you
for the
really?
record. Yeah.
That was funny.
What are their grades in school?
Well,
I'm going in
8th grade, 10th grade, and I don't
Eight?
know.
I'm
Okay.
7. I'm going into 7.
Are you going into 7th grade?
5th.
In 5th grade. There you go.
Yeah.
Did you get all that?
Nathaniel?
I'm taking chemistry.
Wow.
He knows a little bit about teaching chemistry.
Yeah, a little bit.
I did that. I taught for 35 years.
Yeah.
You remember when I started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
I don't even. In fact, I don't remember why, but Mom brought us to pick you up from work one day at JD
Right.
while I was 10. And this didn't mean anything to me at the time, but then of course I went and took chemistry in the same classroom as a high schooler with Mr. Stouffer.
Mrs. Stouffer retired a couple of years ago.
Just a couple? He's got to be.
About 5.
Really that?
Yeah.
He's not that much
Well,
younger.
I was, I think I'm 10 years his senior. So,
Which would make him in his mid-80s? And he retired 5 years ago? It can't be.
no, it has to be younger than that.
Yeah,
Has to be younger than
it has
that.
to be. Or a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember now. I'm struggling. I don't know his age. Of course, I met him as a 9-year-old. And when we built this deck together, and then he became my teacher.
So, yeah. No, he and I were very compatible. That is, he was extremely conscientious. And, remember the large group room?
Yeah.
Well, if I lectured, we also later used to say, you know, you ought to have a different approach on this topic. When he lectured, so it was always constructive criticism, and it was great. So we were able to criticize each other constructively,
Yeah.
and it was very, very good. So,
How long did you two work together?
25 years.
25 years together.
I taught in New Jersey for 10 years.
Right.
So, and
So I'm going to start asking questions, and I'm going to want to start.
Okay.
I'm going to want to start writing things down, though. So, where is that book?
pardon?
Where is that book I gave you to write in? Do you know?
No,
You know where it is?
really, I did not get involved in that, Brian.
It's okay. I'll write in it for
I
you.
don't know. It's difficult for me to say this, but I do a little bit of reading, a little bit of work. I've had it. I've
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
At 92, I just don't have it. I just don't have it. So, you could ask away, and whatever I don't know, I'm gonna make telephone calls
Sure.
to Rebecca.
Well, let me get some paper at least. All right. You don't have to get up. I know where it is. But do you know where the book is physically, so I can put it in my hands, or do you not know where it is at
No.
all? All right. Let me get some paper and a pen.
I'm sorry, Brian.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's fine. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Projects are hard.
What?
Projects, trying to do
yeah,
it's
well-
hard.
Everything that I do takes 3, 4, 5 times normally, because I don't have it. I don't have it. No.
Well, you have time, so you know you can do it 3-4 times.
No, I do miss the classroom, but I don't miss the take-home work. Remember all of those grade books I used to find, all those lab books? I used to spend hours grading lab books. But the classroom, I did enjoy the interaction in the classroom. But outside of that, no. At the time,
Yeah.
I have a sister. She's gone now. She taught English. My oldest sister was born in Italy. She came to the U.S. with her mother, my mother, grandma, when she was 8 years old. They placed her, because she did not speak English, they placed her in the first grade.
Oh.
And I could talk about her. She's my sister. She's very bright. She skipped grades and she graduated high school #1 in her class.
Oh wow.
And so, but this is something else that's also funny. But in retrospect, she received a full scholarship to go on to college. But my father, the dumb Italian, had this mentality from Italy. A girl does not leave home until she's she's married.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother had a degree, and they had a big blow up. Finally, my sister was out of school for a year. Finally, one of her her teachers said, "No, you've got to go to college." They arranged for her to lie, to live in New York, so use that address to have lower tuition. So she finally went back to school. She was working part-time, going to school, and she was sending home, things were tight at that time,
Mm-hmm.
was sending home, while she was working, $25 a month. That was big money then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then my dumb, I should call this, my bull-headed Italian father said, "Oh, says, io ero stupido." He was stupid, and that was his culture. That was their culture. A girl does not leave home until she. And yet, my mother in Italy was a midwife.
Ah.
She was a midwife, and but what is also interesting, she was a midwife who also was a nurse, and in Italy at that time, the government decides where these nurses go. So she was taking care of one person, and someone said, "Well, there's a person the next block down, whatever it is, who needs help." So my mother in Italy went to take care of this person. She took care of him, and finally she said, "I have to come back again." She did go back again and took care of this man who turned out to be my father. So
that's how they met.
So she nursed my father before he was ever my father.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, okay, fine.
I didn't know that.
Pardon?
I didn't know that story.
Yeah. So
That's how they met.
Anyway, what could I do?
Well, keep talking. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have you talk. So okay, you said you taught in New Jersey for 10 years.
Pardon?
You said you taught in New Jersey for 10 years.
Right.
I didn't know that. Where was that?
Bloomfield High School and Passaic High School.
Two different high schools.
Right.
Both chemistry?
Yes.
And how did you get from New Jersey to here? I don't know that story either.
Well, I was involved with a church group, and I wasn't happy with what was going on in New Jersey, so I was familiar with some of the people up here, and they said there's an opening in this high school, and also the college, OCC. I taught at the junior college.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and finally, I moved up, applied applications. They liked my resume, and I was hired on the spot.
And you were married at that time, right?
Pardon?
You were married
yeah.
then? No
Married
kids,
with
though.
children.
Oh, with children.
Oh yeah,
All of them?
all of them.
They were all born in New Jersey.
Right.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. I didn't know where my mother was born. Okay. So you moved that was, how did you move? What year was this? 70? In the 70s?
In the 70s, I have it down somewhere. Yes, in the mid 70s. Yes,
How did that move go? How did you do that?
it was okay.
Yeah?
My brother, Anthony. I don't know if you remember him.
Sure. Sure.
Well, anyway, you're aware that he was in his backyard, and his son-in-law noticed that his glasses were hanging down. Says he called him Tony. Tony, you're gonna lose your glasses. He said, oh. At another occasion, my brother was walking in the backyard, and his shoes were not on. Tony, you're gonna lose your shoes. He says, oh, what happened? He was losing feeling. Finally, a month later, he went to the hospital, was tested. He had a brain tumor, and a month later, he was gone.
Wow.
But what was interesting, we were Irish twins. Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Well, Irish twins are siblings who were born in the same calendar year. My brother and I were born in 1930. He was born January 30th. I was born December 8th. Mama was busy.
Yes, she was.
We were Irish twins, yes.
What's your mom's name?
Emily.
Emily.
Emily, yeah.
Let me use the bathroom, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, she was, well, of course, my wife was Antoinette.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, I'm trying to write things down as you go. So I didn't know your mother's name either, Emily. And what your father's name?
Antonio.
Antonio.
Tony.
Tony. Okay.
That's all we ever know, Tony.
So your brother got his name, and then your nephew got his name,
Right.
and then his son also. Yeah.
Right.
Also.
We have, it's ridiculous. In an Italian family, half the men are
Anthony. Yeah.
Tony.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, they said at a party, they said, hey, Tony, come here. Most of the men come.
Yep.
That's right.
My grandfather's sister was named actually Antoinette also, and they called her Tony.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And
That why the when people think of an Italian mob, it's always
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why. Yes. That's why. That's why. So you moved here in the 70s. Did you come right to this house?
pardon?
Did you come right to this house?
Yes. Well,
That's hard in the 70s to move to a brand new location and everything.
but it was during the summer. I was in school. I left. I gave my resignation, and I came up here. With my resume, I applied. They liked the fact that I had all these science courses, and I remember the female who was in charge of that department. She said she interviewed me, looked over my resume, and she said, if you are accepted, when can you tell me whether or not you want the job? I says, right now. She says, you're accepted.
That's funny.
So
that was
she
JD.
was very interesting. But she was elderly. She was getting right to her. She said she was a former English teacher who liked gardening, and she got her biology degree.
Oh.
And so she now became head of the department. But she helped me out a lot. So it was a very good experience. She was a teacher in her heart.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a job. So, but she helped me out a lot.
Sure. All right, so let me back up a minute. You said you moved in the 70s. You had been working for 10 years in New Jersey,
Right.
which would put you in the early 40s
Right.
when you moved, which meant that there's a gap there. So what happened in between you becoming an adult and starting teaching? You went to grad school, and then you were deployed.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that. When did you graduate from your undergraduate degree?
Well, of course, I was also in the military.
Yeah. After grad school, right?
No, before. What happened is, at that time, men out of high school were being drafted into the military. But if you start school, which is what I did, college, you get military deferments. So I got a bunch of military deferments. So finally, I got my degree, and Uncle Sam says, you're in.
So that's after your undergrad degree.
Pardon?
After your undergraduate degree?
After I had my graduate degree.
Okay. So where'd you go for undergraduate and graduate degrees?
Well, public school, Bloomfield and Passaic High School in New Jersey. Then I went to Montclair State College.
Okay. And you got both degrees there?
Then I got my master's degree there.
Okay. And then you went to, where were you deployed? Puerto Rico?
And then I was in the military, 55 to 57 military.
And where?
Well, don't you hear about North Carolina? That's where I was. I was in North Carolina, and but I got out of there before they had this problem. People said, "Well, why don't you apply for get some benefits?" I said, "I'm perfectly healthy. I can't."
Sure.
So I didn't. But anyway, I was at Camp Lejeune, which is it's a Marine base. However, once I was drafted into the military, they said, "Oh, you're a science guy. You're good. You're going to go to Corps school." I became a medic.
Okay.
And so what a lot of people were not aware of at the time, I was not, that the Marines, that the Navy supplied the Marines with medics. And so I used to wear a Marine uniform with Navy stripes.
Oh, okay.
So, but the Marines treated the medics like gods. I guess they figure in a time of war, they want to make sure. But no, being in the Marines was great. I mean, sometimes I was in the line with my tray to get food. They said, hey, they used to call me Doc. I was in there. Go to the head of the line. I said, no, I'll take my turn. But one of the big gunny sergeant, he was built like a refrigerator. He said, I said, get to the head of the line. I said, yes, sir. But being a medic was interesting. I was, you know, I was in charge of all the medication, everything else. And I used to have guys come in and used to say, you know, I think you'll understand this, I'm not going to go into it, but a lot of these guys used to go out, they were free, they used to do their thing, come back and say, hey Doc, I need some penicillin. I said, I can't give you any penicillin or antibiotic. They said, I'll give you big bucks. I says, I can't do. What happened is the person who took over the next duty when I was through, he was investigated. They went through inventory. He was giving out a little antibiotics. They said, I says, I'm not going to ruin my reputation. I don't know what happened to him, but that's so. But no, but for a while, my outfit was transferred to this island southeast of Puerto Rico. Vieques, the name.
Oof.
And it was in the Caribbean, and it was great service. Perfect humidity all year round. Once I was off duty, I used to strip down to my waist and just walk the beaches. It was great duty. And, I came back. I have a dark complexion, but down there I got darker and darker. And then when I came back, they said, "You look like one of the natives."
Yep.
That's funny.
I saw pictures of that in your book describing your life. If you have that book, picture book of like stuff, pictures when you were in the military and stuff.
I didn't get.
We have a book, pictures of you and your life. That who put that together, Aunt?
I'm not sure.
I think Nana.
Wait a
Oh, I think he has one. Pause this. Pause. There we go. He probably has the book.
Yeah.
By the way, I found the book that I gave. This is it. Clipboard would have been nice. I'm using the dictionary instead. So I don't think this is complete because I don't